Bexar County judge has resigned, and under the agreement, she is permanently banned from serving as a judge in Texas.
Mute her.
Who I'm talking
Mute
to,
her.
ma'am.
Mute
I
her.
just don't know who I'm talking to.
Mute. I have a robe on, Miss Murray. I'm a judge. You're talking to a judge.
The behavior she gave was aggressive.
So the judge went ahead and told her to invest in batteries and get basically a vibrator, less trouble. You know.
The Detroit judge finds herself on the wrong side of the bench tonight. The feds have charged 4 people in a corruption scheme, including the judge, her father, and a guardian. They're accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from people at risk and unable to care for themselves.
What is going on? And welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about 2 judges that are in serious trouble. Complete corruption. First, we have a judge out of Texas. She had a lawyer handcuffed in her own courtroom, and it cost her everything. Career gone, done permanently. Then we have another judge out of Detroit. She's facing federal charges, her and her father, allegedly stealing from the people who literally could not protect themselves. 2 judges, 2 disasters. Let's get into it.
Reflection Court is led by County Court 13 Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez. It's an intense, trauma-informed treatment program for first-time domestic violence offenders. She says the judge, who she's known for more than a decade and considered a personal friend, had a noticeable shift in behavior and began lashing out at defendants in court.
I couldn't believe that they're being put on the record.
So this is a trauma-informed court. That's literally the whole brand. They're supposed to be gentle there. They're supposed to understand the root causes. They're not going to treat you like a career criminal. That's the whole pitch. And this judge, the one running this whole compassion operation, is out there lashing out at defendants in open court. And staff who have known her for a decade are like, I don't even recognize this person anymore. Something's going on. I mean, that's not just a bad day. That's not stress. When your own friends and colleagues are going on record saying something shifted in her mind, I mean, that's an issue. And these defendants are already coming in vulnerable. People are trying to do the right thing. And the judge is out here wilding out on them, losing her mind.
Like one female defendant.
She had a pregnancy scare. She, thought it led to a miscarriage. So the judge went ahead and told her to invest in batteries and get basically a vibrator, less trouble, and that is what blew my mind the first time. Or
an 18-year-old berated by the judge after his case manager found a video with sexual content on his cell phone.
Calling him a poser, and this young man is homeless.
This woman, a sitting judge, just told a defendant who went through a pregnancy scare / possible miscarriage to go buy a vibrator. In court, on the record, to someone who just potentially lost a pregnancy. This is not a Saturday Night Live sketch. This is real. This is documented. This is in the transcript. And this is the person running a trauma-infused court. The same court that's supposed to be sensitive about this kind of thing. The best practices literally say anger from authority figures can trigger trauma symptoms in participants. And she's over here making vibrator jokes to a woman who just thought she had a miscarriage. This whole operation is goofy. I mean, you cannot make this up.
Speedlin Gonzalez responded harshly, telling staff to, quote, stay in our respective lanes, and after writing that she was not singling anyone out, ended the message by stating, if you feel I am doing this, I need you to consider getting therapy.
And it really did, appear to be directly at me.
Garcia says she was called into her manager's office the next day and was told she was being removed from Reflejo Court. Her work hours slashed. Garcia eventually resigned from the nonprofit.
She told her staff, the people raising legitimate concerns about vulnerable defendants, to get therapy in an email as a response to being called out for her behavior. That's a power move wrapped in a therapy reference. And this is completely wild. I'm not targeting you, but if you think I am, you need help. I mean, that's ultimate gaslighting. I'm not mad. You're really the mad one. You're the one with the problem. And the woman who received the email, she was also removed from the court the very next day. So the judge saying that she's not retaliating, but then immediately retaliates. This judge has completely lost her mind.
She also noticed a shift in the judge's behavior last year.
Became very no, this is what I'm saying. I'm the judge. I'm going to do this, whether you all like it or not. It just was not appropriate, especially it being a trauma-informed type of setting.
This is not a trauma-informed court leader. That's somebody who got intoxicated by the power of her position and forgot why the position existed in the first place. The whole point of the court was collaboration with the staff, therapists, case managers working together for the defendants. and she flipped it into some kind of dictatorship, her dictatorship. And the people around her started to see it. Multiple staff members, people who liked her, who worked with her for years, all started noticing the same thing. That's not a conspiracy against the judge. That's people watching someone change, and not for the better.
Just before Christmas 2024, in a separate incident, Judge Speedlin Gonzalez ordered a defense attorney in her courtroom to be handcuffed and put in the jury box after a dispute over how a defendant pled during a motion to revoke probation hearing. Speedlin Gonzalez, according to a transcript of the hearing, called out attorney Elizabeth Russell for her conduct in her court the last 6 years. Russell pointed out she'd only been licensed for 5 years. Russell filed a criminal complaint against Speedlin Gonzalez, accusing the judge of official oppression and unlawful restraint. Reached by KSAT out.
And this is the moment it all fell apart. She had an attorney handcuffed in the courtroom, and she got basic facts wrong while doing it, accusing this lawyer of 6 years of conduct when the lawyer only had been licensed for 5. She couldn't even get that right. Elizabeth Russell filed a criminal complaint, and the complaint started a chain reaction: the indictment, the suspension without pay, the lost reelection, and ultimately the permanent ban from ever being a judge in Texas ever again. Gone, career over, all because she decided an attorney deserved to be put in handcuffs. Rosie turned a trauma-informed court into the most ironic cautionary tale in county history. She probably should have retired a long time ago. It seemed like there was something about it that she didn't want to do this anymore, and she just put all this energy, negative energy out there to the people that she was supposed to be serving. But it is what it is. She's gone. Now let's move to Detroit.
The feds have charged 4 people in a corruption scheme, including the judge, her father, and a guardian. They're accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from people at risk and unable to care for themselves.
Williams' guardianship agency, Guardian and Associates, was appointed to be the fiduciary for more than 1,000 cases in the Wayne County Probate Court. When a probate judge declares you legally incapacitated, a guardian can have total control over your medical and financial decisions, often with very little oversight.
Before we get into what they allegedly did, let's sit with that for a second. Over 1,000 human beings who have been declared legally incapacitated, meaning they cannot make decisions for themselves. And there's one organization that has control over their money and their medical care with, quote unquote, very little oversight. I wonder what can go wrong with that. That's not just a vulnerability. That's an open invitation for people to take advantage of each other. Now you've got a judge, her father, and associates who allegedly looked at the system and said, yeah, we're going to definitely get in on this. These are the most defenseless people in the system, y'all. This is elderly, disabled, people who literally cannot fight back. And they allegedly turned those 1,000+ cases into their own personal ATM.
According to the indictment, Judge Bradley Baskin is accused of using $70,000 of one ward's funds to purchase an ownership stake in a bar, and she's accused of using another ward's money to pay for a lease on a Ford Expedition.
A bar and a Ford Expedition. She allegedly took $70,000 from someone who was legally incapacitated, someone who cannot speak for themselves or manage their own affairs, and brought into a bar with it, and then separately used another ward's money to lease herself a truck. A judge, a person whose entire job is to protect people in the legal system, allegedly using the ward's funds, money that belongs to the most vulnerable of people, to fund her lifestyle. This is peak scam behavior, wire fraud, money laundering. That's what she's being charged with. And the saddest part of all this, she's a former lawyer who used to represent guardians in the exact same system before becoming a judge. So she knew exactly how it worked. She had all the ins and outs there. So this was not just incompetence. This is deliberate. She's a scammer.
The fact that a judge and an attorney have now been indicted, it shows just how brazen folks feel like they can be. And I also think it shows they're very aware of the holes in the system because there aren't that many checks when it comes to how a fiduciary operates.
That right there is the whole story. This wasn't random. If these allegations are true, they didn't just stumble into fraud. They studied the system, they knew the system in and out, identified where the oversight was weak, and allegedly built their entire scheme around those gaps. This was corruption. This was calculated. And in fact, it took this long for federal investigators to even get here. It tells you everything about how little accountability exists for these situations here. Local systems are not catching it. The probate court wasn't catching it. Families was complaining for years, according to the reporting. The feds had to step in. Now she's in pre-trial, discovery phase, trial suspended, which means there may be more coming, probably more co-conspirators, more evidence. Things might actually get worse than what we already know now. So we continue to watch and follow this story. So that's where we're at right now. 2 judges, one lost her whole entire career and can never sit in a bench in Texas again. The other one is looking at some federal prison time with her dad, with potentially more of the story still being uncovered. Most likely she's not going to be a judge as well. Both of these situations involve people who are supposed to protect the most vulnerable, first-time offenders trying to turn their lives around, to adults who cannot even take care of themselves, can't protect themselves. In both of these cases, the people in power allegedly did the complete opposite. We'll continue to keep track of this, especially the judge that's in Detroit right now. When that trial kicks off, we'll be right there. Let me know what you guys think about these stories in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.